So let's do another problem, but in this case, they give you an equation. So when they give you an equation, it's going to be a little different. So they gave you the graph and everything. It's good to go. And what are we doing to this graph? Well, notice how there's a 2 in front and this -2 changed to a 4. Well, that's because we did something to this graph, which is, it's not very obvious, but would you guys say it's something like this? 2 parentheses x minus 3 minus 2. Now, take a moment to think about this. What we really did, guys, we did distributive property on both, which is how we got the 2 on the outside of this absolute value, and 2 times -4 is 2 times -2 is actually -4. So what did we do to the entire function technically? We technically just multiplied by 2. And that's very important for you to understand because of the following. So when we multiply by a number bigger than 1, let's go back to our review. When we multiply by a number bigger than 1, we're going to get a vertical squeeze. It's going to get closer to the y, or in other words, a horizontal stretch. It moves away from the x. So we have our graph right here. It's going to be a vertical squeeze. Once again, a vertical squeeze. So it's going to get this line. It's going to get closer to the y in the same sense that it's going to get further from the x. So let's get to work. If right now, if we're at 0 and we want to get to this point, well, isn't that just a 1? Well, we multiply by 2, we're technically saying we want double that. So instead of going to 1, double it, we're going to go all the way to 2. So that is my new point. All right. Originally, this point is over here, going down to 1 and 2. So if we want to get double of that, instead of going down 2, we're going to go down 4 all the way here. So once you do that in Khan Academy, you're going to notice here is my new graph right there. That's going to be my new graph because you basically doubled it in size. And how do we know this is true? Well, very simple. Because now that they gave us a graph, we can actually check with Mr. Desmos himself. So let's graph the original. The original was the absolute value of x minus 3 minus 2. You see, that's the original, like they gave it to us. And if we were to multiply that by 2, that's 2 absolute value, x minus 3, close the absolute value, minus 4. Look at that. Isn't that our point? 3, -4, the one we chose. 3, -4, right there. And isn't this our point 0, 2, like we said? 0, 2, 0, 2. So this is how we know we did the right graph. And that's how you do it.